Okay, here we're going to explain the relationship of when a sheet comes down the feed board to go into the transfer drum, which is back here, grippers, the proper angle that it comes in, and just a lot of people have issues with sheets that misregister, don't get in, don't jog properly. So this here is the upper feed roller I'm spinning. First thing we want to make sure is it has 1 1/8 revolutions. So you can see a hole right there in that roller. There's 2 holes. So I'm going to just leave one at 12 o'clock. And then I'm going to turn the press around. And I want to count. That should turn 1 1/8 revolutions. So there's half a revolution. There's 1 revolution. That's about 1 1/4 actually. I want about 1 1/8. So I'm going to take this knob right here and I'm going to move it clockwise about 3 clicks. It's got little clicks in it, this little thing right here. I'm going to back this up again. Put that hole at 12 o'clock, which it is. Bring it back down. Go forward. There's half a revolution. 1. I'm going to go about 3 more clicks on it. Come back again. Put that hole at 12 o'clock. Go forward direction. There's half a revolution. There's 1. About 1 1/8. That's what I'm looking for. Now, I put an envelope in here. I'm going to back it up so the grippers are back up here. Bring this envelope down to the head stops. Envelopes seem to be the biggest problem. Now, I'm going to go forward direction with this. Real slow. Upper feed roller starts to come down, drives the envelope forward. That point right there, where you can see the grippers, there's the tip of the gripper right there, and there's the envelope. You can see the white envelope. So that envelope, when it comes in, should be above the tip of that gripper by about 3 millimeters. 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters. Get this right down here close, and you can see it's really hard to tell, but that is about, it's a little bit high. It's coming in about 3 millimeters is where it's coming in. And what happens on this front right corner, see if I can get that, that envelope comes in and hits, well, there it's going down. This might be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to simulate. I'm going to bend the front of that envelope up a little bit just to simulate what happens when the timing is off, when the ring cam is off. Okay, I'm going to bring it in here again like this. Now the envelope comes in. See it hit. See how high it hits on that corner over there? Sometimes it's going to hit and snap. You can actually see that that side hits before the rest of it if you look at the white area. You can see that it's not hitting in the center, it's hitting more on the corner over there. So what we're going to do to change that is we're going to move this cam over here. This is called a ring cam on the transfer drum. That's actually what, if you look, you can see that bearing down there. It's right, there's a high point right there. That's what tells the upper feed roller and the head stops to go down. So one thing you can look at that's kind of a factory setting, if I lay a straight edge along the black edge of that, right on the edge, and I push it all the way over to the non-operator side, you'll see there's a indent in that ring. You can see my line gauge across that straight edge that I got right on that little straight edge, and that black part there. It's about 4 millimeters below it, that hole is. So I'm actually going to turn that ring counterclockwise about 1 millimeter, because I want that envelope to go in a little bit sooner. So we're going to do that going on the other side of the press. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this is the ring can we were just looking at on the other side. Relationship, this is the chain that drives the feeder. And here's the flywheel. This is what I'm using to actually turn the press over. So there's going to be 4 bolts with washers. There's one right there. We're going to loosen it to 10 millimeter. But this one we want to loosen last, because that's the easiest place to grab the ring to move it. If you can see, I can get my fingers in here on the inside and I can actually grab the ring right there to move it once I get the last bolt loose. There's no other part on that ring, like right here. If I loosen that bolt last, right there, there's no place to grab the ring really. There's a little spot right here, but it's just more difficult. You need more room in there. So I'm going to loosen. There's 2, 1, 2, 3, there's 4. So I'm going to loosen, and there you can see that's the actual gripper shaft, transfer drum gripper shaft right there. So the last one I want to loosen is right there. So I'm going to loosen the other 3 first. So I'll come back around. I'm going to use a 10 millimeter socket on a little ratchet. Just going to loosen about a half a turn. This is my 3rd one. And we're going to loosen this one last. But before we loosen that, we're actually going to put a mark. We're going to index that so we know where we're at right now. Best thing to do is use white out. Paint some white out on there. And you're going to paint it like right between this surface, which is a cylinder, and this, which is the cam. I'm going to put a line straight across there, one line. So when you loosen this and move it, you know how much you've moved it. I don't have any white out, so I'm going to hope that there's enough dirt there that I can just scribe a mark, one mark across there. And I can see it. Especially on the cylinder, I can see it a little bit on the ring. You only got to be able to see it a little bit. Just don't wipe it off. Okay, so I'm going to loosen my last bolt now. Now, sometimes these move really hard, depending on if they've ever been moved before. And sometimes they move not so hard. So another reason for the mark is if you move it the first time it moves a lot, then you know where you started at, so you could always come back. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and grab this now and see if I can actually move it. and it doesn't want to move. So I'm gonna have to put my camera up in something here. So I can see what's going on in there. I'm just gonna, to start it, I'm just gonna grab in that little hole right there and just tap it. I don't know if you can see, it actually did move about the width of that line, about 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeters. So I'm just going to lock this one bolt down only, just for testing. Now we're going to go back over and have a look on this side to see what the envelope looks like now. So we're going to back that up. And try this again. Okay, now we're about 2 millimeters above that. That's where I want it. Right there. You see the envelope comes in, slides down nice and easy, down into the gripper. Go forward, there's your buckle. And as soon as the buckle releases, you should be able to grab the back of this envelope, and the grippers have it. So that's kind of one way to see how close we are to where this rain cam, if it's set properly over here. This little guy right here. So keep watching for more videos. I'm going to load up some more on headstop adjustment. Get everything you need here at RyobiPressParts.com.